Howdy, y'all. All right, we got some folks coming in. Where we at? Over on YouTube. Who's with us today? Give me a shout out. Let me know. Turn off this music now, I guess. We are live. We are live. Um, Say hi. Say hello. Let me know how you're doing. What's new with you? How's life? Anybody sad that they're not a team? Because I am. Rodney, hey, welcome. Victor, Christina, hello. Welcome, friends, welcome. You know, it's fun because today is a day in which we'll do a lot of things because there's a lot of information that's just dropping constantly, I would think, today. Because everybody's got things that they want to share about what's going on. And so I figured, hey, Susan, I figured we would start off this morning, this afternoon here. Rodney, isn't it midnight there? What are you doing up? That's hilarious. You just finished your first day. Do you want to come on and tell us some things? If you do, just slap a chat in there and I know how to reach you. Because it would be fun to have you hop on and just let us know how day one went. I'll just throw you the link and then you let me know. Oh, it's only 9 hours. Okay, that tracks. That tracks. I'm throwing you this link and you can join if you want. It's going into our Slack. Well, the Atlassian Slack. I could put it in the TJL Slack. I have 42 Slacks. I can't handle the number of Slacks that I have. Um, but it would be great to hear from you or Mr. A if he's around. But while we wait to see if Rodney might like magically appear, anybody else here from team? Uh, because that'd be wild. I would feel pretty special. I already do feel special that Rodney was like, surprise! I'm gonna join your stream. What we're going to start doing, friends, is if I can figure out how to make any of this stuff work anymore. If I switch to this scene, but then I make it like this, then I can share my screen and I can select a window. There we go. And then it's impossible for any of us to read because it's too small. That's my favorite part, you know? But then we can do this. Let's talk about some of the things that happened today. And honestly, we're just going to go through the list. Um, so many things. Oh, there's a lot of those in there. Hold on, let me fix something here. There's a particular one of these I do not need. Wait, where is it? Rawr. There are articles in here that I don't care about. How do I get App Central out of here? Y'all, I'm old. I don't see the option. Well, that's not very nice. Oh, community groups, because they're all industry. I don't know. Anyway, we're just gonna roll through stuff. I don't know. I'm too tired. Probably not as tired as Rodney, but let's take a look. So first of all, now actually, and let's hit the one other place to go here. This would be fun. Blogs. Or is it Atlassian.com/blogs? They change it all the time. So how would anybody know? Slash blog. What is it? What has been announced today? Let's see. Today, here's the announcements. Excellent. Oh goodness. Also, certain things are not loading. Okay, so I think. Oh wow. I don't know if I saw this one thing here. Oh, a container registry. Sorry guys, I'm getting distracted. Let's go back. Did this come out just yesterday? Let's see. October 5th. Oh, this was earlier this week. I didn't see this. This is for Forge, really. Ah, Rodney, Rodney. Yay! Hi.
Hey, one moment, getting audio fixed.
Of course.
Welcome to TJL HQ Barcelona.
How you doing, my friend?
I am very tired. It's been a very long day, but it's been a very good day.
Ah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I've seen you guys. Well, I I actually on LinkedIn I see Alex posting a billion things about how he's running around.
Yeah, he was live posting from the keynote while I was recording it.
LinkedIn is
So
a really weird website to do a live to try to do live posting on because you never know like when it's going to show you things.
I would have done it as like a master post and then comments underneath that post.
Yes. Uh so how's the weather?
It is beautiful, it is sunny, and we are expecting rain tomorrow.
No, of course. So the first day is wrapping up. Anything besides?
This is
So I mean,
actually day two of the public expo hall.
gotcha.
Um, Tomorrow's the last day, but today, most importantly, was the founders keynote, which
Yes,
is the big one
absolutely.
we all look forward to.
And there were a lot of announcements.
Understatement, my friend. Honestly, if you are a Jira or Atlassian admin, prepare to become a Rovo admin.
Yeah, I mean exactly. Yeah, you are whether you want to be or not an AI admin now.
Yeah, that
Also,
is the biggest one
everything's an
line I
app.
can give you. I'm literally about to jump onto the my computer after I get done with this, and I've got like I brought a notepad, one of those little fold up notepads. A
Yep.
third of it I filled up with notes from the keynote, so I'm about to take those and turn them into a blog post.
There you go. Yeah. I saw that there's everything is an app now. Everything's an app.
Mhm. I mean, this continues the trend from Team 25 US, where everything started to be an app. I do appreciate that they separated assets into its own app because I can't
Yeah.
tell you how many software teams have been peeved that in order to get assets, they got to pay for 10 million agents.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess I could see that. Yeah, depending on how they use it, that's very, very true. Um, I was just seeing this post that was made, which is additional AI ops partnerships in relation to the service collection. So Dynatrace, New Relic, and Big Panda to help do observability faster. So that is
Yep.
interesting. I'm surprised that they haven't made a partnership with Honeycomb yet. I know a lot of folks who use Honeycomb.
I think those were the three they could get done before the keynote.
Exactly. Also, recommendation to everybody: sign up for every single early access program you can. Maybe you won't use them, but that way, if you have questions about how it might work, you might as well you'll have access to it.
Fair enough.
Um,
Um, there's something that I think is going to be really big that I don't think they explained thoroughly enough
mhm.
that causes both excitement and mild panic in me when I saw it. And that's the ability to assign work items to robo agents.
Oh, this was coming, my friend. This was coming. In some ways, they've kind of had this when you look at some of the dev agents that are out there that have been in beta,
Yeah.
because you can have them do work on your behalf, like to prepare what the code review agent, or that would prepare to do code work for, like, tell you exactly what you needed to do because it would scan all the code. But yeah, this is going to be a next step.
It is a next step, but the permission situation, I mean, if each of those is an assignable user, what does that do to your license count? Have they even thought that far?
Well, I mean, I would imagine that they have, but we also, who knows? It's Atlassian.
Because all we saw
Um,
really was a mock-up today. I mean, we didn't see it actually in a Jira instance.
well, then that tells you there's probably still a few more months before it comes out.
Yep.
So then, I mean, I would not expect. I mean, with all the things they're doing to make, I do think they have the right model in which what they're doing is extending the base level of Rovo action all the way, like, throughout the product. So
Mm-hmm.
now our standard users can get it for free. Um, I wouldn't be surprised if at some point free users get it for free, or like some portion of it.
Well, I mean, you think about the business model, the more data you could feed these kind of large language models, in theory, the better they'll be. In practice, there's been some practical limits to how good that is, but every
Yeah.
time Atlassian expands out who has access to Rovo, who's paying to get access to Rovo, let's be clear about this. I keep thinking that's another jump in the amount of data they're getting.
Well, yeah, and I do think there's a probably there are two pieces to this. There is the um, how does the overall knowledge that Atlassian has in their models when they're doing things. Because one thing I think it's important for folks to know is that Atlassian doesn't use other people's data to inform what's happening on your work. They don't even use your data to train the models.
Hmm.
They're training those foundation models separately. Um, Now, that being said, particularly because the amount of data you need to do that is basically all of the internet, as we see. Um,
Yeah.
but the more information, uh, what it does feed is the teamwork graph. It does feed I think the like de-anonymized signals that Atlassian is able to understand about the way organizations work in general, and I think that is a secret sauce to them. The other thing, though, that I think we have seen over and over again is sometimes the best models, the best context, the best, like, the more you can do to scope things, the better.
Hmm.
Because sometimes you don't, if you're looking for a specific set of information, but like you're grounding your agent in massive amounts of information, then it's likely to find things that might seem like it's the right thing, but not, because it's not smart.
Hmm.
I've been noticed there's been a lot of chatter lately about small language models and how those can often outperform large language models for specific tasks. Uh,
Yeah, it's definitely been an interesting day. I will note there was an announcement during it about how Rovo Studio can be used to make your own Forge apps.
yes, I'm.
Now,
Go ahead.
I think honestly, if you have a company that's going to use that to replace all your marketplace apps, they were going to jump ship anyways as soon as they could.
Yeah. Well, and so two things. One, I love to tell people this story. I was saying it in the live stream last night. I predicted this at the beginning of this year. I was interviewing for a principal developer role at Atlassian, the one they ended up hiring Lars for actually. Um,
Hmm.
and I said that it would be great if we could just build, like, if there was an IDE and everything built into um, the platform. This is not exactly that, but it is very close to that. Um, and what I think it will do is, for a lot of people, getting to the beginning of the idea is the hard part. This is for me too.
Hmm.
Like being able to prompt your way into a beginning of an app and then pull it out and look at it in code is going to help you understand the structure and the shape of the code. And then that's something you can extend. And that's how a lot of people have always learned how to code, actually. People who don't go through formal schooling is they look at code that's already been written and then they learn how to change it.
That's pretty much how I've learned vast majority of the programming languages I know.
Yep. So I think this is really powerful, and also I expect this is going to create more business for. I actually think it's going to create more business for marketplace partners and solution partners because the thing is that nobody understands how much work it takes to maintain apps.
No, no. They're going to go through one release cycle where Atlassian changes something in Forge that breaks everything for the go, oh yeah, that's why we're paying someone else to deal with this.
Yes, which I think is really key because that will like that combined with the ability to do like assigned user licensing
Hmm.
means that people will be more likely to not be like, why are we paying for this app that 5 people use? We have to pay for it for 1,000 people. And we'll be able to, marketplace partners will be able to charge more for the minimal licenses. Won't lose out much. The more, I always say, the more money you can make on the less number of people, the better everybody is.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah. It's been an intense time over here. I mean, you've been to teams. You know that there's no such thing as a chill team.
no, I mean, my secret to having a chill team is that I just disappear for like hours on end to my room to relax before I come back because I'm I am not a huge I'm not a huge workshop person unless I know I won't be able to capture it later and it feels really important to me. It's way more about the sitting down and talking to people.
You
You
see the
you don't have
problem.
that benefit here.
Yeah, we don't have that benefit because we're
Nope.
known creators, and when we disappear, people start asking questions.
Not only that, but there really weren't any hotels close to the venue.
Yeah,
You can't just disappear.
there weren't any hotels close to the venue, and Atlassian themselves filled up our schedule with people to interview before we even set foot on a plane.
Well, you are now Atlassian would like to make you their marketing channel.
They would, and to an extent, we are amenable to that,
Yeah.
but we're also going to call bullshit where bullshit
Yeah.
exists.
This thing
Excuse my language.
TJL, the thing TJL will always do. Listen, I don't care. TJL will always do that. Yeah, I already. So, did you guys get a chance yet to book your tickets for Team 26?
No, but that's because there might be a surprise coming, and we don't want to spoil anything too early. But we are aware that registration is now open, but we are working on something special.
Got it. I got mine booked because Community Champions. You can go ahead and book your tickets now. The code is available.
Hmm.
So I squared that away just to see what happens. I mean, whatever happens next, we'll see what happens there. But yeah. So well, I'm excited to see what you guys have to share with us the next day, and I know you guys have already been posting videos, so I'm looking forward to go and checking those out. I was
Yep.
asleep.
I will give a huge shout out. Well, if I may borrow your platform just for a few more seconds,
Sure.
huge shout out to our home team, Lena, Sarah, and Bob, who have been keeping the lights on at home while we've been over here recording videos. They're the ones editing, they're the ones posting, they're the ones doing study sessions while we're gone. Huge shout out to them.
Yes, absolutely. They are the dream team. Truly.
Absolutely. We would not be able to do half as much here if we had to worry about all the editing stuff to get stuff on the channel. So cannot thank them enough.
I haven't figured out yet how to get TJL to acquire me. So that's the next step.
Yeah, well, right now we're in a phase where we're trying to just understand what's next for us.
Oh yeah,
And then we can start bringing people in.
absolutely. Well, we will let you guys. I'm getting. Oh, I guess Susan had a question for us. She asked, "Does Rovo currently search things in Atlassian documentation, or do you have to set it up to do that?" So Atlassian has an agent on their support site that you can engage with, and if you use Rovo for web search, if you're using it will use what it knows about that, but I don't think you can tell it only search the Atlassian documentation at this point, unless you're using
No.
their agent on their site.
But again, this is something we have to really play around with. But that web search skill, I mean, if we
Oh
could
yeah.
say site colon Atlassian.com, then the search phrase, that could end up being very powerful.
Well, and the thing I would say is I don't understand why Atlassian wouldn't. Well, if I were Atlassian, I would be shipping that as a native feature because what I would be doing is I would be taking a copy of that documentation and putting it in an appropriate uh, vector search or something so that it doesn't crush my support site. Because if people can do that, because currently today you can add a connector for a custom website, but you have to have control over the robots.txt to be able to do it.
Hmm.
So if I were Atlassian, I would not let people just do that. I would deliver it natively so that they didn't have to do that because it will destroy the website.
So this morning we ran into some well-known Atlassians, friends of the channel, and we were joking around, and I'm like, I'd love to recreate that old XKCD comic, Sudo Make Me a Sandwich with Rovo. They said they were full of spoilers for us, and like you do realize we technically count as press for this event, but they're like that might be possible. Some skills we're going to announce today.
I listen. It was very funny. Alex was like, "I can't believe it's like Rovo on your desktop," and I was like, "This just." I think some people. Well, I mean, actually, we know some people don't know the history of Atlassian and desktop software.
Hmm. I
Jira
mean, the old
desktop.
Mac OS client
Yep, but
they
even
had for
before that,
years.
yep, and then even before that, the connectors that they
This is
used to
very
have.
different.
Yes, it is. It is very different,
Would you like
Alex.
to jump on, Alex?
Once I get the pictures uploaded,
It is. I mean, it is definitely different. But I mean, even before that, the way that you used to be able to do to you could sync parts of Confluence offline to manage them
Hmm.
and work on them way in the old days. So it's
it's,
nice to see Atlassian
it's,
get back to its platform roots. I wonder how much people will trust them, considering their history with. I mean, like when the Jira Cloud Mac client went away, people were so mad. They were at the time there were like 7 or 8 different people that were or groups that were trying to build their own Jira Cloud desktop clients as replacements. I remember.
But yeah, it is late here. We have to do our planning meeting for tomorrow because it is another action-packed day. We may be recording some of our advanced videos, but yeah, if you're interested in what's going on in Barcelona, we do have the scoop, especially this guy here.
And
I promise I'm trying to keep him out of trouble, but it is a full-time job sometimes.
well, hopefully you
But
can
I'm
run
pretty
him.
sure he says the same thing about me.
Hopefully you can run him down enough so he doesn't cause too much trouble when he gets back and we get into doing um, the summit. Which, I mean, listen, people, you can't. sign up for the wait list. And then if we have space, we'll bring you all in. But the Builder Summit is sold out, and if you can't come, if you weren't able to go to Barcelona, make sure to show up at the Builder Summit because a bunch of people who were there will be at the Builder Summit, and you can chat with them all about the new things.
What are we at, like 5, 6?
I've lost count of how many speakers we have.
Well, there's you and me, Robert Heen, Matt Thor, Selena, Daria,
Ed,
Ed.
Um, Derek.
Derek's not here.
Oh, I thought he was.
no.
But
Okay.
David Lau is here, and he won't be a speaker, but he'll be an attendee.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, David
I'm
Lau will travel anywhere that there's half an excuse to travel.
I'm
I
deeply
love the guy,
jealous
but it
that
seems
I
like
Well,
got
every
to.
time I turn
obviously,
around, he's somewhere else.
obviously Katerina.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, Katerina, absolutely. How is she doing?
Great,
Wonderful. After her
The
wonderful
lovely,
vacation.
lovely. I've never met her before, and she's absolutely
Oh,
lovely.
she's the best. She's one of the first Atlassians that I got to meet in person after I started doing Atlassian work again full time when I came to Team 24. She was she was there and like she was so great about just like finding information out for me and coming back and checking in. And so I'm so thrilled that we get to work with her now.
hmm But yeah, um, the Atlassian Builder Summit is coming. It feels almost like an extension. I mean, I know you guys aren't building it as such, but it does kind of feel like an extension of Team 24 Europe.
No, it's definitely not.
I get it's not, but it's just like in my head, I'm like I
do they
get to be
have
home for
do
like
they
a
have
week,
do they
and then
have
I fly out to Los Angeles to meet you
yeah.
guys.
Do they maybe they'll have money left over from team that they can give to us. Uh,
No, I've asked.
yeah, I get to be in. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're gonna. I get to be in a
Brian,
million
I have
dollar
to ask
team.
you now.
Oh, you have to ask me now.
Yeah, I've exhausted all my options in Europe.
Oh, that's fair. Goodness, it's crazy. But here we go. I mean, yeah, that's coming in 3 weeks. Literally 3 weeks.
I will say this:
2 weeks.
the big kerfuffle recently about the status drop down move has been talked about thoroughly.
Well, Atlassian's
Very
not changing
thorough.
their mind apparently.
They're not changing their mind, but they are very aware that maybe they should have thought about it a little more before just pushing it out.
Oh, yeah, the communication strategy was terrible, which has
And
been a problem of theirs consistently lately.
I'm trying to stay out of it all.
I mean,
Um,
I understand you grow this big this fast, like there's going to be and you push these many features this fast.
mhm. That's the thing, and I actually sat down and talked to them during a brain date about how fast they're pushing things out, and I'm like, look, I don't think you'd ever be able to do it just because of the volume that you're pushing out. But I'd love to see you slow down and like do a monthly release or a quarterly release that has all these updates, just so we have time to prepare. We're not saying
Yeah,
don't release them, just give us a heads up and let us have time to warn our teams.
yeah, absolutely. Like that is the biggest thing is like and yeah, and I don't even think that they're going to necessarily always give toggles to not have things change. I don't think that's actually really reasonable. But it
Mm-mm,
would be nice for people to have a little bit more of an opportunity to think through what's going to happen before it
mm-hmm.
goes live. Susan said, "Will more pushback on the status button move help?" I don't think so. I think that Atlassian is working on like doing additional things to make the move less impactful to folks. They also did call out you can hit the D key and the status and a status pop-up will come up no matter where you are, so you can change the status. And
I
then Command
don't think
K.
the keyboard shortcut is a. I think the problem is the fact they did not even stop to consider how the users would react before just pushing out the feature.
I mean, I still, I mean, we will never know, unfortunately. But again, I would love to know like the full set of studies and data that like that they have about the feature because I am so curious about how many people out of the people that use it actually have a problem with it. We'll never
I
know.
will. I'll tell you that prior to the change, they did do their market research. They have the data.
hmm And
I figured,
Alex talked to Dave Meyer today,
yeah.
and that may have come up.
Oh, see, this is the thing. I'm like, I will never believe like having worked now inside of a software company that is, I mean, a consumer software company and hardware company. I know how much research goes into before you actually make any changes. But that doesn't mean that you don't have to consider how you're going to handle the people that are going to have problems with it and have a
Mhm.
robust strategy for doing so. And that's the part where I think they failed.
I mean, TGL for our part have been asking Atlassians the interesting questions. We asked them, why are we canceling or doing the end of life for data center now? Why now? Because no one's answered that question really. We've all speculated and thought about it, but I've heard some interesting rumors that weren't addressed by Atlassian, but were definitely interesting. Me and you will have to chat offline about that.
Sure. I mean, yeah, I think there are a significant set of both business and technological reasons that could be the reasons.
hmm
You know, it's just about
But
which ones are which.
even if the rumors I heard are right, this just changes things by a matter of a few weeks. So it's like changes it from before Team 25 Europe to after Team 25 Europe.
Well, and honestly, well, yeah, that's a good point. It would the one thing people need to, I think, should know, it was never going to be at Team 25 Europe.
No, no.
No, that's not a thing, and you can see this now. You can see the way that they like the fact that they did the pricing updates like a month or so ago. Initial announcement about the pricing updates was to clear it away from Team, so that at
hmm
Team they're focusing on the exciting stuff. Now people because psychology is really simple. People will be like, "Wow, I guess I'm not so mad about my pricing updates because look at all this additional new stuff I'm getting." Instead of if
hmm
it was afterwards, they'd be like, "I'm paying all this money," and they would forget about all the new stuff. Just how humans are weird.
That they are, but yeah, I'll definitely have to hop on and talk to you one on one at some point
Sure.
offline. But there is some interesting, juicy gossip.
Well, and I'll tell you, I'll just say one last thing. And I will allude to some gossip. I may have read an article that I had not yet read about some of the way that some of the most the highest level of shakeups may have
hmm
happened over the past couple of years.
I think you may agree with some of the rumors we're hearing on the ground. So,
Yeah. Well, and what I can say about that is that one thing to remember is that no matter who you are, these people are people, and
yep.
so things that happen in life affect business.
hmm But yeah, I'll let you get back to it. Just
All right.
figured while I had the opportunity, I'd say hi to everyone and give some of the updates from here.
Super appreciate it, Rodney. Have a great day and have a good night. Get some rest.
I've got an article to write. No
Take
rest
care.
for the weary.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye.
Woohoo! That was fun to see, Rodney. Okay, we'll come back to this good stuff now, friends. Okay, so what's been going on? Don't forget that there's the live stream and on-demand sessions that you can check out. Um, let's see what other announcements are happening here. That's so right. They talked about new Rovo. It's everywhere. Also, there's the Rovo mobile app coming. Teams who don't use Atlassian can get Rovo for $5 per user. So you can connect all those connectors. Rovo Search is going to be the default search experience in Jira. Rovo Chat is adding memory so that it'll remember you. Real-time collaboration, as well as skills. 100 out of the box modular capabilities that you can sort of stick into workflows and all those things. Studio, you could even start building Forge apps straight from Rovo Studio, which is wild. The software collection now contains Bitbucket. Pipelines is its own app. It gives you DX as well. Compass, Rovo Dev, which is now in GA, and custom agents. It's really amazing. So that's an incredible collection for people who are starting out the software piece. And then they announced the service collection, which is not surprising. As Rodney said, we now have assets, but we also have customer service management, Jira, which is for focusing on your customers. So not like internal service management, but external service management, which is huge. Customer service management is also very AI powered to help resolve a lot of the things in advance. And then those custom Rovo service, these are just a collection of agents that are related to that. And yeah, there's all of that. And that was just one day. Um, what else did they say here? Let's see. You can look at this. Meet Rovo everywhere. I think the most interesting thing about this, we talked about that. Oh yeah, it's coming. Rovo's coming up to Focus, Bitbucket, Home, Talent, and Jira Product Discovery, which is basically all of the apps. Um, More connectors are coming. You can now build your own connector or install via the Atlassian Marketplace. They also announced a beta coming for Atlassian hosted models, which is excellent. Oh, Rovo can send email now. Um, Rovo can now connect to assets, which is huge. So now you can include your real world assets in Jira. You can plug into the model context protocol. You'll be able to plug in skills from like GitHub, Figma, Box, HubSpot, Asana, Cloudflare, Canva, Lucid, Postman, and Dynatrace. You see some of this in what's been happening lately with ChatGPT and what's been happening with Claude. More governance, so many more things you can do. Who can use AI? Um, Conversation logs, custom evals, built-in analytics, easy versioning. Like so many more pieces are coming. It's really, 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 really cool how much more you can do. Now run features entirely on brand new Atlassian hosted LLMs. That's the thing I'm waiting for. So excited. That's the thing that's going to give us the ability to do this at my company. I'm so excited. And the service collection, like I said, I think the biggest thing about is customer service management, which I haven't even watched the app video yet, but I'm really excited. It works with email, chat, web, and phone. What's the phone piece? The customer service agent is working day one. I'm just like really fascinated to see how all of this is going to work together. And assets is now its own app, and data manager is now fully available. Just so much happening, and that was day one. What's going to happen today? Who knows? But is there any other? Rovo Dev is now available live. Jira issues, smart AI. No, that's oh, it's Apptoberfest. Everybody's doing things about apps. That's the thing that's happening the most, which is why I'm literally like covered in app things on this page. Okie doke. Let's talk about what else is happening. So, who has Why? I can't click anything now. Well, that's fun. Well, just lost my ability to click. Hold on, I'll be right back. What is happening? All right, Susan, I'll be right back. Okay, we're back now. All right. So, who has? Oh, we have one person on Twitch, one person. I mean, very small today. So, Susan, you're up. What are we working on today? Oh, did you have something today? Maybe you didn't. That's okay. I don't particularly either because it's been such a wild day with everything going on in team. I don't even know. I wonder if. Oh, connecting Jira to SSO, things to know. I can do that. We're talking Jira Cloud, right? If we're talking Jira Cloud, okay, so Jira Cloud, and we have Atlassian Guard Premium, I would assume, because those would be our requirements for being able to do this. So let's come over here. Let's just choose one of my billion one Atlassian instances. And then let's go to security, identity providers. So when you're setting up Atlassian Guard with SSO, you're really doing one of two. You're doing two things usually. You're doing SAML, which is something markup language. Um, Always good to have security assertion markup language. And so the way that this does is that an identity provider authenticates a user and then sends a digitally signed assertion to a service provider to grant them access. So in these cases, these are the identity providers, and Atlassian Cloud is the service provider. So what happens is if you go to, let's just say brianguffey.atlassian.com, it'll go to ID. You'll put in your email. It'll recognize that you have that it's tied to your uh, Atlassian site, and then it will go see, oh, how am I supposed to authenticate this person? And it will see that if you have the authentication policy set up, I have to verify domains first. Of course, I can't show this here. I could set up a funny one here, but then it would go, oh, Bryan is in the group where you're supposed to do SSO. So then it would be like, oh, if I'm connected to Azure AD, it would go, hey, what's the connected Azure AD? And it would call over and be like, hey, Azure, is this person supposed to have access? And then Azure would be like, yep, they surely are. I confirmed it. And then it would let you in. That's like the very high level things of how this works. So the way that this would work is you effectively set up an app sort of in the identity provider that you assign users to. Azure, they're in Entra, they're called Entra apps. They have all different names, but you're basically providing the connection that is to the configuration in the to Atlassian, so it knows where to send responses to. So that if you did it on one side, like if you went, because then you can have little apps in an app store, like on your own identity provider to connect to things. Like if you go to Okta, Okta has those. That's how that works. So the way that this all sort of comes together, ultimately, we'll go to the support page here to show you what it looks like. Um, Effectively, the steps are: you choose an identity provider, you set up provisioning and sync, and then you set up authentication. This provisioning and sync is the skim part, and that's the when a new user gets created and they meet these criteria or assigned to this group, send that information over to Atlassian so Atlassian can create a user for them proactively, or like the first time they log in. Okay, so and like the gotchas for when you do this. Let me think about this. The keys with this are Atlassian only syncs certain fields over. Let me see here. So you have to be aware of like the URLs have to be exactly right. You have to use one of the supported providers. And you have to be aware that you have to, like when you do the syncing part, there you go, skim provisioning. This is the part I want to go into. Recommendations from skim provisioning. Here we go. So when you're doing migration, disable skim. But also, like, here's the thing. The thing to know about all of this is that, like, you can add a manager attribute. You have to do that manually in Azure AD to be able to unlock reporting lines and filters in Atlas, or what we call now goals. There are particular things that you have to think about when you're working on nested groups. Nested groups aren't supported. So consider that if you're doing a migration or you're connecting from your external user directory to Atlassian, you can't use nested groups. They get flattened out. And so you want to be aware of the way that that's going to affect your SSO and your provisioning. Because folks want, or you can choose one of these that support flattening. So there are these different things that you want to consider as you're setting all of these things up. Um, If there are already users and groups in the cloud and they have the exact same email address, then they will be linked. If you delete a user in your identity provider, they will be deactivated in Atlassian. Um, if a group, this is a big one actually, when you're doing SSO and stuff in Skim, if you delete a group on your identity provider side and then it gets deleted from the cloud side, it'll then get deleted from the cloud side. If you resync the group or create a new group with the same name, that won't restore access. You have to like manually re-add people, I think. It's really bad, actually. Yeah, what you need to do actually is rename the group locally and then push it, and that will restore access. Because for some reason, if you restored the group locally and then pushed it again, after you deleted it locally and it got deleted in the cloud, you can't use the same name over again. It's particularly galling, and I think there's a ticket for this somewhere. Um, yes, here we go. This is a ticket here, which is unlink skim synced groups instead of deleting them when the group is removed or unassigned in the IDP. When a synced group is deleted or unassigned, currently it's deleted in the Atlassian organization site, which is a problem if a group is unintentionally removed or unassigned due to either error in the user or an issue in the identity provider. Because you can't restore the deleted groups or any product roles. So this is a recommendation to instead unlink the groups, and now they're managed separately. So there are opening like there is an opening ticket for this here. As a year ago, nobody seems to care. Then there's another one here with a soft delete. So this is much the same sort of concept. It's got some votes, but like that's one of the biggest things is this group deletion thing that really catches people. I know it's bad, and I'm not sure why they built it that way exactly. Also, let's talk about what happens if you are working with folks who work in another organization and they're going to access your site. So you're going to invite them as a guest, and then but they have their own SSO. Let me remember how this works. Um, because you can only this is a big thing. Oh, this is the thing that used to be a problem. You can now have multi-domain SSO, I believe. It used to be that you could like verify one domain or you had to own the domain to be able to verify it. Only one organization could do it, so you couldn't grant people access. So you can grant people access now as guests. Um, this is incorrect. Yes, you can now manage. There is a way now. Yes, a skim provisioned user who is provisioned from a different domain. They're a non-verified domain, but they are skim provisioned. There's hold on. Invite a managed account from outside your domain. Yes, and 2FA. This is the thing: is that we couldn't. Problem we were running into is that we could not require 2FA for external users that were, and even if they were, because they couldn't be managed in our guard configurations. So now, if somebody has their own skim provisioned accounts, so I work at Sony and I'm actually accessing something at Sonos, I will go through my own SSO and 2FA, and then if I go to Sonos Atlassian, I will be required to also do MFA for the Sonos Atlassian separately, which is good, but is sometimes tiring. So you can now do, here that is right here. This was not an ability before. Like as we were moving Confluence over, it was very frustrating because we had to end up creating guest accounts for every single person in our Atlassian. Um, so now it also doesn't count to your product subscription. Your Atlassian Access subscription. They do count to your product access subscription. It's a very complex piece. Like the double layers of other folks accessing your instance when both of you have skim sync groups and you're running access takes a little bit of work to think through, but it is important and it can be done. All right, anything else? Anything else? What else do we have today? I just don't have much because, like I said, it's been a rich and busy day. Can we purchase? If I have, so IT team department has a site for their organization. We have our own instance, but need SSO. Can we use our own domain and their SSO Azure AD? Yes. Or do you need to use their guard license? They have Azure AD. You have a domain. You have a site. They have a site. And you don't want to combine these sites into a single organization. You want to manage these whole things separately. You can buy your own guard license, verify your domain, and connect it to their Azure. Yes, you can. Atlassian does not care. You're going to have to add that domain to their Azure, though, and that is possible. Even if you use, I think there may be some funky things on the Azure side. Like you may need to deal with domain federation in Azure, unless they already have your domain, like access to your domain in their Azure. All right, no problem. Take care. I will be around for. It looks like we got another person joining. So, hello, other person. This thing is wild, so I can't tell who's in the chat. So feel free to say if you have any questions or things you want to chat about. Um, I don't yet, but I can. I mean, if today you could just, like, you can just Venmo me. Like, you can just Venmo me there. That works. I can work on the buy me a coffee thing. That's a good point. Yeah, that's a great idea, actually, Susan. Thank you. Oh, oh, that's the unsolicited one, huh? All right, so we're going to head off for the day. Have a great day. Take care.